Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of JonesBoy's Fishing. Today we're going to talk about how I prepare for a fishing tournament. I've got a tournament coming up with MSKA at Burnsville Lake. Have no idea nothing about the lake, don't know anything about it. I've broken it down into a couple of categories of what I do before I fish a tournament. And the first one is know the body of water you're fishing. And what I mean by that is whether it's got rocks, grass, trees, brush piles, if it's got any creeks that run out into it, whether it's got ledges, drop-offs, bluff walls, whether it's got 5 feet of water or 50 feet of water. And basically it just gives you an overall image of what you're going to be fishing. And what I mean by an overall image, it's kind of hard to do that if you've never fished it before. So what I do is I go on Google Earth. Google Earth gives you an overhead image of the body of water you're going to be fishing. It can give you as much as information if it's going to be rocks. You can see standing timber. You can see the creek channels. You can see the bank. You can see docks. And it gives you just an overhead image of what you're going to be fishing. So I really like that. Definitely recommended it if you've never fished the body of water and you're looking forward to fishing it. The next one's going to be weather. And it's just real simple. Whether it's going to be hot, rainy, or cold. And the weather implies of what lure I'm going to be using for that tournament day. And I like to look about 3 or 4 days before the tournament. That way I have an idea of what's going to do. And that's pretty just self-explanatory. The fourth one is food. What are the bass eating on? Whether it be little shiners, little minnows, crappie, bluegill, crayfish. Just basically what they're going to be eating. And that again helps me pick my lures. Match the hatch. If I know they're going to be eating crawfish, I would want to go to more of a crawfish style bait, like a jig or a Texas rigged little crawl. And if I know they're going to be eating bluegill, I might want to go to a spinner bait, a chatter bait, a swim bait, or something like that. The next one is just seasonal patterns. That's basically it. What seasonal pattern they're going to be in for that tournament. And you can look in the month of the tournament and you can kind of tell what seasonal pattern they're going to be in. That'll give you an idea of what to do. And then last but not least is actually tackle, lures, rods, line, etc. And what I like to do is I take all of the main things I just told you, combine them all together, and basically it's giving me an image of what I need to be fishing with. If it's got a lot of grass, I would do chatterbaits, for instance. If it's got a lot of rocks, I would go to maybe a square bill or a jig. And you want to make sure that I always do this. You want to always, well, not always, but every 1 or 2 fishing trips, change your line out, because there ain't nothing worse than hooking into a 5-pound bass and your line breaking. You'll never feel right again. And then look over your rods and reels. Make sure they're running smoothly. Make sure there ain't no cracks in the rods. Eyes are all there. And then you want to go to your baits. What you're going to be doing. Make sure they're working properly. If it's going to be like a spinner bait or a crankbait, make sure it's running true. And that's basically about it. That's how I prepare for fishing tournaments. So, just a quick rundown of what I do. I know the body of water I'm fishing. I'll look at the weather. I'll look at what they're going to be eating on in the lake. And then last but not least, I'll look at seasonal patterns. What seasonal pattern they're in. And that helps me out a lot. Thanks guys. That is how I prepare for fishing tournaments. I'll catch you guys next time. God bless, and go catch you a big old bass.